With us tonight is also Leah Southwell, our John Birch Society Coordinator.
Well, thank you. I had something I wanted to share with everybody. For those of you who don't know much about the John Birch Society, we've been around since 1958 for the purpose of protecting and defending the Constitution and making people aware of the threats against the Constitution. But one of the things that I'm most proud of is we score all of our legislators based on their oath. What is the oath that all of them take?
Constitutional.
To protect and defend the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. So we look at everyone, how well are you abiding by the oath that you swore to uphold? And we produce something 2 or 3 times per year called the Freedom Index. And this is all 535 of our legislators in Washington, D.C., and we score them based on constitutionality. And I can tell you we have some work to do, people. With first of all educating ourselves, and then finding people who are educated enough to understand what is a constitutional vote and what is not. I'll tell you bad news with the Democrats, maybe not a surprise for some of you here. They generally score between 0 and 20% constitutionally, in accordance to the Constitution. But don't worry, because the Republicans are doing much better. They generally score 40 to 60% based on the Constitution. Do you see we're in trouble? The Constitution is not the problem, people. The problem is the people who are not abiding by it. But who is supposed to hold them accountable? We are. So the question is, how well are we doing with holding them accountable? Not very well. Number one is we don't know what they're up to, right? There's no way to have a regular job and life and family and keep track of all the votes that they're making. But we make it easy for you. So we take those votes that are most definitely could have and should have been considered on a constitutional basis, and we give them a score. So we give either 20 or 30 votes per year. We take that, and we also maintain their lifetime votes over their lifetime of career. So you could look up each year. Are they moving closer towards the Constitution, or are they moving farther away? I don't think anybody's bad if they don't score well on the Constitution. I'd say they just have some things that they were missing in understanding of the vote, whether it was constitutional or not. So we also take each vote and explain why it was constitutional or not. So you get a whole paragraph or 2 explaining why it was either constitutional or not. And since just this last year, we started to do it per state. We don't yet have all 50 of them. We didn't have the manpower to do all 50 of them, but we got Wyoming done. So this is kind of exciting. I do have to tell you this was obviously from a year ago, from the votes from a year ago. So this was not this last session. And we have 3 of them here tonight. I won't tell all of their scores, but I will tell one of them, because we have one here in the room that scored 100% constitutionality. And that is Representative John Bear. Please stand up for your recognition. So you can go to our website. It's called thenewamerican.com. And you scroll down a little bit farther than you would at the top, because the top is for finding U.S. congressmen. And you can print out how each and every one of them voted, all of them. Or you can print out individual scorecards for them. And with this one, again, we only took 6 of the votes. So you could say, well, that's not fair because it's only 6 votes. But they were 6 ones that we felt were the most important, that they couldn't and shouldn't miss it on those important factors. So we have obviously a different scorecard for the House and for the Senate. I would say, I'll give the other legislators that were there last year, I'll give you your scorecard. But I just definitely wanted to say, let's motivate people, let's educate people on the kind of legislators that we want, why these people deserve our recognition, and the other 2 that are here definitely deserve our recognition too, but I'll give them their scorecard personally. But the purpose of this is to use it to help educate other people. Mm-hmm. To educate the legislators too and say, hey, I'm interested in seeing what I missed. By the way, Troy, you only missed one, that we would consider. And you may have a justification for it too. So you have to ask these legislators, hey, I see that you missed this one. Why did you vote that way? And listen to how they justify it, because they may be justified in it or maybe not. But it's good to understand their perspective on why they voted the way they voted, and good to hear their reasoning. But they also might say, hey, you got me on that one. I thought it was the right thing, but if you can show me that it was unconstitutional, I will be happy to take that into consideration, and I learned something. And next year I would vote differently now that you've educated me on what I didn't know. So this is really the job of us as John Birch Society members. All of this is available to non-members too. It's at thenewamerican.com, which Lila, saw you had a whole handful of them.
I do.
The New American is our source of knowledge and education, and you don't just gain this knowledge by becoming a member. You actually have to read and learn. But we are an educational organization. But with that education, we have to be better citizens. But we also have to help our fellow man become better citizens. And we have to help our legislators. I know one of you is brand new this year. I just can't imagine being in your shoes the first year as a legislator. It's going, oh, thank you, right there. It's going by so fast. I said, I watch these debates too. I'm like, wait, what are they voting on? What are they, wait a minute, they're voting on the motion or they're voting on the bill? Oh, wait a minute, no, they're voting on an amendment now. No, wait a minute, I don't like the bill, but I like the amendment. Am I voting yes or no? I'm thinking I'd just be in a panic every time. I'm not sure which way I'm supposed to vote, and it's like, vote now. Would you like to change your vote? Like 5 seconds later, would you like to change your vote? It just seems overwhelming. So yeah, I believe it is our job also as citizens to help our legislators, help them prepare ahead of time for the bills that you know are coming up. Help educate them, make sure that they understand the issues, and that they don't provide them with that information. I'll tell you just a little story that I used with this Freedom Index. I was just started with the Birch Society when I was living in northern Idaho, and we had a new congressman running for office, and that's the perfect time to meet with them, when they're still running for office. They're all humble then. They all will listen to you. They'll all admit they don't know everything. Once they get into office, they kind of lose a little of that humbleness and don't seem to want any input from us after that, especially the longer they're in office. But Raul Labrador was his name, and he was running for office, and I said, Raul, we're going to be judging you. I had educated him on quite a few things. He accepted a lot of the materials that the Birch Society was putting out. I'd say, what do you know about sound money? He said, not much. I said, here's a brochure, here's a DVD, here's a magazine, here's a book, go home and read about it. What do you know about free trade? He said, I think that's a good idea. I said, wrong answer. He said, what do I not know? Well, here's a magazine, here's a brochure, here's a DVD, here's a book, go home and learn about it. And every time he did that. So I said, you know what, okay. I'm good with you now. I think that you're going to be a good one, but I'm just going to warn you, I'm going to help you get elected. But we're watching you. We're going to be scoring you. And I'm going to let everybody know how you got scored. So his first score came back, and it was a 96%. That's only, I can tell you, there's only 1% that score in the top 10%. 1% of all of our U.S. congressmen score in the top percentile there. So this was amazing that the one I helped get elected was actually there. So what did I do? I followed him around to every town hall that he went to like this. And I made sure that that was open to his, and I highlighted his score. And I'd make sure that I'd stand up and say, I want you all to know and notice this thing here. And I want you to know our congressman is the top 1% of all congressmen. And everybody would say, yay, applause. And then I'll leave. And I'd go up to Raul and I'd say, Raul, do you see what I'm doing? He says, yeah, I see it. I said, Raul, I helped you get in office, and I'm going to help you stay in office. And if that score starts going down, I'm going to help you right out of office. And that's the power of a tool. We provide you with tools that help make our voters understand the issues better, but even better, help our legislators understand. We will support you as long as you stick to your oath of supporting and upholding the Constitution. We're okay with a mistake here or there, but let us help you understand why that wasn't a good vote and how next time it could be a better vote. So I encourage all of you, at least go to thenewamerican.com. You can subscribe for free for daily updates. You could subscribe to the magazine. Can you hold up one of those magazines again? We publish 24 issues of these per year, and that can get mailed to you. We also have it in digital format that you can share it with other people. Very timely topics. There's history sections on why it's pertinent now, because generally things just come back over and over again. And we repeat history. So wouldn't it be good to know what happened last time that happened? The way we responded, and maybe we could respond differently this time now that that pattern is happening again. So I would suggest you do that, and also please consider joining the John Birch Society. I have a couple of brochures on your way out. If you're interested, please see me and I'll be happy to give you some of those brochures. And the legislators that are also here, I have your scorecard for you. But thank you, all of you legislators, before you come up here. My sincere gratitude to you. It is quite a sacrifice to be a legislator. You think, it's only a couple of months. No, it's not. It never stops, right? People are calling you all year around. You're reviewing things. You're trying to educate yourself on things. It's endless. It's constant. And they're only getting paid for a short while of doing this. So it's quite a sacrifice. And I compliment all of you for the sacrifice that you're making and for representing us so very, very well. And I can tell you that all the representatives from this area did well. So that's the great news. So thank you very much. Thanks for giving me a chance to share that.
There was another very important bill this year, SJ 11, that was for a convention of the states. This is one of the most important issues for the John Birch Society. For decades, we've been opposing any attempt to amend or open the, I shouldn't say amend, any attempt to open the Constitution through a convention. We have no problem with amending the Constitution, doing it the way that it has always been done for the last 235 years. Never have we attempted, since 1787, to have a convention. There are deep concerns as to how that would be run. I just wanted to let you know that thank you, 4 out of the 5 of you voted no against this. I thank you very, very much for that. And also I want to tell you, the debate from the House was out of this world. You've all got it so good. I shared it with headquarters at the John Birch Society. As of today, it's up on our website as an example of that's how you do it. The arguments given by these House representatives were out of this world. I believe John said, I was going to step in and say something, but they were doing so great, I thought, just let them go. So it was phenomenal, the debate on that.
Also a bit of a negative when I get up there. So we found if you want to kill a bill, let me vote for it, or vice versa. So.
But I just wanted to thank you, Wyoming. You are an example for the rest of the country because this legislative session is so early and done with so early. You tend to be an example for the other legislators for the rest of the year. So this is up on our website as an example. Wyoming, you are the example for the rest of the country. Thank you so much.